Hold on one second. Is that it right there? Or almost it? Let's close that in a little bit, about right there, so we can make sure everything is in. Everybody good? How everybody doing this morning? Let me get that camera right. Perfect for us this morning. That's right. Get all of those notifications out, YouTube. Let them know that we are in the building and it's time to get it going with our bottom line. Let's go. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. It's your boy Bugatti NYC. Kind of crooked there, but hey, we gonna make it do what it do, baby. Hope everybody's good. Tricked. What happened to the full Jeffrey Epstein file release? How everybody doing for Purple Sunday? Let's get it in, you guys. See what time it is. Check that. Okay, cool. Let's see if we got our audio up. We got a couple of envelopes coming out for you guys for your Our Bottom Line so that y'all can represent on Purple Sunday. Anybody else want a decal, you got to email me the mailing address and I'll make sure you get yours. All right? Real quick prayers we got coming out to Rebecca Lanyan Bueno on Purple Sunday. Jeffrey Spilker, how you doing, brother? Luigi, we also see Rebecca Lanyan Bueno up in the building. I see Mark Dorfman praying for Rebecca as always. How you doing? Jeffrey Spilker, Luigi, 13 New Generation, Batty Lynn, Casey, Liberty and Justice, and everybody else that's not here. That includes you, Sam Champion, and many more. Amen, you guys. Hope we have a fantastic show. Let's pray for that. Also, it's almost time. Hope everybody's good. Almost went out on me. I can hear you. I hear you. Let's get it going, you guys. Y'all ready? In 5, 4, make sure we got that as best as possible. 3, 2, y'all ready? Cause I am. Come on now. All right. I'm ready to go for Purple Sunday, and they're ready to go. It's time to start the show. I said, come on, ready, yo, 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 yo. Okay, y'all. Y'all ready? Wind it up. Wind it up. Wind it up. Wind it up for Purple Sunday, y'all. I'm ready to go. One more time. All right, one more wine. It's almost time. We're going to wait for them because we know we always beat the clock. That's right. Y'all want to try? One more wine. Okay. Olay. That's right, y'all. We got it. That's right. Took them a little time to get open. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's like that. But we got to open up those pores. Hope everybody's feeling festive for the Christmas holidays. We only got 4 more days left, y'all. We got to open up those pores. Did you guys finish your Christmas shopping? Let me know. We got to open up those pores. Whoa. We got to open up those... Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight we're having tonight, walking in the winter wonderland. Let's do it again. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight we're having tonight, walking in the winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird. Sings a lovely song as we go along, walking in the winter wonderland. In the winter we can build a snowman. I don't know that part right there, cause I'm not gonna look at this over here. Cause I'm ready to get up out of here. Walking in the winter wonderland. Let's go, let's go. In the meadow we can build a snowman. Then pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say no, man. But you can do this job when you're in town. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? Here to stay. Yeah, I could do this all day because this is my joint right here. Walking in the winter wonderland. Okay, you guys, y'all know why I'm open, right? First of all, because it's 4 more days to Christmas, and also, pump that beat. It's Sunday the 21st. That's right, y'all. It's 2025. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that and that. But we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me lit. Ring, are you listening? They need to do a remix on that. That'd be crazy. Hope everybody's having a fantastic morning. Hope you guys love the energy that's coming at you. It's Purple Sunday, y'all. How y'all doing? Could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Who we got up in the building this morning for Purple Sunday? I see you right there, Sky. We already got your envelope ready, envelope, wherever you call it, from wherever you're from, on your way to bring you your decal. I saw your email, and I've already put your decal in the envelope, and it's on the way. How you doing, Mark Dorfman? What's going on, Jeffrey? I see a lot of other people up in the building. We got Beyond Ether up in here. God bless. Who else we got up in here this morning? We got Brian King, Timon, Liberty and Justice. Nice to see you. Hope everybody's good. Guess what I got? You know what I'm going to tell you, right? I got 5 on it. I'm going to stack 5 videos at a time. All I'm going to ask you guys to do is stay on time, stay on point, and do me a favor. Let me know where you're chiming in from and what time it is. I love to be able to go and find content from where you guys are from. This way the dialogue is always on point. Also, do your boy a favor. Let's try to keep on point with what we got going on. That's why I stacked the 5 videos. This way we have something to talk about. Not only that, but you know what I'm going to say after this, right? It's time to get into it. So without any further ado, let's get into these titles. Let's go. It's time. It's time to get in, you guys. Happy Purple Sunday. Hope you got your drink, your coffee, your tea ready, because it's time. Sorry to say it. I thought that we were going to be able to get files on Friday, but guess what we got? We got tricked. That's right. We got tricked. What happened to the full Jeffrey Epstein file release? I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, Friday, they said we're going to get partial. They didn't have enough time to redact everything. It's a bunch of malarkey if you listen to if you hear what they're talking about. But anyway, long story short, we got much more to get into. So without any further ado, what else do we have? Heads need to roll as the Florida senator rips the Minnesota fraud scandal. As you guys know, it's no longer 1 billion. It's no longer 2 billion. It's no longer 8 billion. It's now up to $9 billion in alleged fraud that's been found out about in Minnesota throughout over 48 different programs. And we're going to get into that topic as well. But last but not least, we've got a Hialeah man that's been accused of smashing gambling machines after losing $3,800. $3,800, I would say, probably not a lot of money to some people, but to a lot of people it is. I wouldn't have went and gambled with my last $3,800 if it was me, sir. Long story short, we've got that. We've got Jeffrey Epstein. We got current events. We got trending topics. We got a lot. Hope everybody's ready, because guess what? It's time to get into it. It's time to get busy. Let's do what we came here to do. Let's get this information out. We're going to start it off with President Trump talking about economics in North Carolina, as well as much more. As you always know, he talks about much more than I intro him with. So we're going to let him take it from here.
But remember that we slashed the yearly cost of new mortgages by $3,000. Look at the mortgage chart. We slashed.
Hope everybody's having a good morning for Purple Sunday. Let's go.
Look at that. Oh, boy. Look at how much you made with me and lost with that sleepy guy. But everything now is falling, and the only things that are going up are your salaries, the stock market, and your 401ks. They're going up. Do you remember when I first won in 2024, and I was at my first conference? I'm 2 days in. You know, we're recovering from all the hoopla. 2 days in. In fact, I took a day off. They said, something's wrong with the president. I said, I just got here. There's nothing wrong with me. Something's wrong. He took a day off. What's wrong with the president, right? Every time. Do you remember when I had 28 news conferences in a row over 28 days? Sometimes I gave 2 or 3 in one day. And then I took my beautiful Kai, my beautiful granddaughter is a very good golfer. I took her to play golf one morning, and I was in the office very quickly. Something's wrong with the president. Do you remember the rumor was that I had passed away? Do you remember that? I went 28 days in a row. I took the kid to play golf. And we play very fast. She's good at, I'm a very good golfer. And we play very fast. We play in 2 hours. We're dinning. I mean, I said, baby, I got to get out of here. I'm sorry, honey. Enjoy your day. Go hit balls or something. I got to get out of here. I got to go to work. And I got a call, a friend of mine. Oh, you're okay? And I said, yeah, what's wrong? I said, I'll be back in the Oval Office in 30 minutes. Oh, I said, what's wrong with this guy? Then I got another call. Oh, you're okay. They said that I had passed away. Do you remember that?
I can't front. I remember that too. It was actually happened more than one time. So I gotta say that definitely did happen. And yeah, it I guess because he's on so much, you get kind of what happened? What happened? Where's the president at? Let's keep on moving forward now to Washington as the Department of Justice is facing criticism over their lackluster, lack whatever release of the Epstein files. Come on, y'all. Let's get into this. We're not going to stay on this topic too long. I promise you that because I'm kind of peed off right now.
Out tonight over the Justice Department's release of files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Survivors and lawmakers are voicing concerns after the agency failed to release all of the files. And as of this morning, at least 16 files can no longer be accessed on the Justice Department's webpage. Willie James Inman reports.
How many people tried to access the link that I put up yesterday that came from the Department of DOJ? All of a sudden, the whole link collapsed. And then all of a sudden, 4 hours later, it came back on, minus those pages. Anybody in the comments notice that? So what they did give us, they tried to go back in to take more files out. How many? All right, keep going.
The Trump administration is facing scrutiny over the Justice Department's handling of the release of files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Thousands of records were made public for Friday's deadline, but the DOJ did not release all documents as required by law.
They did.
Hundreds of pages were completely redacted, prompting concern from both lawmakers and Epstein survivors.
And a lot of effort and money and time put into redactions, not to protect victims, but to protect people in power.
What we need is a clear timeline of when the rest of the documents will be released and an explanation for why they did not release all of them today.
But in a statement Friday, the White House insisted that by releasing the files, the Trump administration is the most transparent in history.
This is what the pages look like.
It's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax.
Following pressure within his own party,
the pages look like this.
President Trump signed bipartisan legislation calling for the release of all Epstein files. More documents were released Saturday, including what appears to be a 2019 grand jury presentation with a message that shows Donald Trump called Epstein. The call time is recorded as 5:18, but the message is not dated. No reason is given for the call. On Friday, President Trump addressed supporters in North Carolina, focusing on issues including the economy, but he also mentioned this week's strikes on ISIS targets in Syria.
And it was very successful. It was precision. We hit every strike flawlessly, and we are restoring peace through strength.
I need to do something better with that audio right there. Let's get on over to Minnesota to see what Ilhan Omar has to say about this situation when it comes down to the major PPE fraud that they caught. It is now up to $9 billion, you guys. Legislation that she actually introduced is part of how they got their hands on a lot of this money. Let's get into it, you guys. Let's go.
To Minneapolis, where $9 billion were stolen from the state of Minnesota by illegal Somalian criminals, and the president saying that they must pay they must pay a big price right now. That's from President Donald Trump. And then Governor Tim Walz was asked about it, and here was his response.
Would I have wanted to stop this? Would I have gone out? If you think the governor goes out and checks somebody on Medicaid and that they were there, no, but that's somebody in government needed to do that. And if they didn't do that, or if there were loopholes in this, and what we found is these are poorly written and it left openings, and the goal was to get the money out. We'll fix that. But yeah, I'll take accountability for it.
You'll fix it. $9 billion later, and now he said, I'll take accountability for it. So if you're taking accountability for it, you need to resign or let your head roll for it.
Get the money out. We'll fix that. But yeah, I'll take accountability for it. But what you're seeing here is you're seeing a weaponization. We'll continue to fix it. They're going to continue to come up with numbers that don't have it there, and it's sensationalized.
If the numbers are being researched by real people, what do you mean don't have it there?
I don't expect anything different from this administration.
Truth is the truth. The truth.
What do you guys make?
And of course, what is not, he's clearly trying to not mention is the fact that we know at least some of the people that have been implicated in this were political allies, political supporters of both Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar. And neither one of them have any interest in, of course, getting to the bottom of who is behind all of this, because I'm sure we will find even more connections. This is what Ilhan Omar said, defending the program that she introduced in the House that led to all of these billions being stolen.
Yeah, it's a quote. She's telling Fox Digital. So this is the 2020 Meals Act. Ilhan Omar drops legislation intended to feed poor children during COVID because they might not have access, and it opened up 100% USDA waiver that was exploited grotesquely. Fox News asked her, do you regret pushing for that bill, the Meals Act? Do you think it led to the fraud? Ilhan Omar, absolutely not. It did help feed kids. Okay, you see those, how it started, how it ended. Let's do how this started, what the funds were meant for
feeding the kids. Man, listen, they ran through that money, and then all of a sudden a lot of politicians got some money out of that too. Let's get on over to what California's got going on, because guess what? Gavin Newsom, one of your favorite governors over there, basically said, oh, there's nothing to see over here. Don't worry about our files. But then, of course, we got a guy named Kevin Kiley who details the California state audit results and blasts Gavin Newsom as he's trying to make his state look different from Minnesota. Let's keep on moving forward. You guys do me a favor, double tap that screen. We're getting a lot of information out this time. Double tap that screen. Let's get more people over here. If you appreciate the content, hit that notification bell down there also.
Mr. Speaker, the California State Auditor, the nonpartisan official auditor for the state, has just released a report that updates its assessment of the state's high-risk agencies. And the contents of this report are truly stunning. Not really that stunning, actually, for those of us who have experienced the California state government at work, but even given our very low expectations, what the auditor has just reported is truly troubling. And this comes, by the way, as our state's governor, Gavin Newsom, has recently boasted that California is the original Doge. Newsom held out California government as a model of, quote, efficient, responsive, and accountable government. So let's juxtapose that very notable statement, very surprising statement, with the clear-eyed fact-finding of the state auditor. So in this new report, which is issued annually, the auditor identifies high-risk state agencies. What does that mean? It means they pose a substantial risk of serious detriment to the state or its residents. To be considered high risk, an agency must not only exhibit serious waste, fraud, abuse, or mismanagement, but must also have failed to take adequate corrective action.
Makes sense.
So in this new report, the auditor has identified 8 separate California agencies as high risk.
There we go.
4 of those 8
Mr.
have
Doge
joined the club, this dubious distinction, during the Newsom administration, including the newly added this year Department of Social Services. Among the findings as to why these various agencies are considered high risk are that massive payment errors in our CalFresh program could now cost the state $2.5 billion in federal funds. With Medi-Cal eligibility, ongoing problems in determining who's eligible, continuing to make payments, say to people who don't meet the income threshold or who have left the state entirely, is also putting billions of dollars at risk. Continued fraud and overpayment with our uninsurance benefits, or rather the unemployment benefit, insurance benefits, are costing the state, continue to cost the state billions of dollars. This, of course, after the massive $32 billion fraud in unemployment benefits during the COVID years.
Also found out a lot of stuff when it comes down to internal things where the internals are just not working in sync, as far as like everything is not on computers. It takes a lot of time for information to get saved or shared. There's a lot of money being mishandled. So guess what? California, you're not as Teflon as you thought you were when it comes down, Mr. Newsom. Now we got to get let's get back over to Minnesota real quick. I want to show you guys this Alpha News journalist information that emphasizes their oversight with these scams. We're going to stay on the money for a little while, you guys. Let's stay with the money for a little while, if you don't mind. Let's go.
Talk about this as well, but just one example I wanted to highlight. One program supposed to help people find stable housing. It went from paying out $4 million a year to $170 million, and that just happened in just a few years. Again, this explosive growth. And what's interesting, prosecutors say in other states, they see this sometimes. It's often these upcharging for Medicaid services, but in Minnesota, these are fake businesses, shell companies that are created, just fake from the start. And Joe Thompson said yesterday, we look under a rock and there's a new $50 million fraud. That's how these are just popping up, basically saying the entire state of Minnesota is swamped with fraud at the moment.
Liz, being a student of grift and fraud, read about them, they've gone on for over a century. You never have people who are administering programs in a government that they don't benefit somehow, financially or otherwise. And I think that that's really what the federal taxpayer and the people of Minnesota want to find out, is the people who were managing these programs, who knew, but also how what they got financially, potentially.
I'm trying to figure out how were they able to make all of this money? I mean, even PPP loan fraud, they found out about it later. They definitely found out about it later, were able to find everybody that was involved with it. There were not really too many big names, but in situations like this, we do have things where it comes down to campaign donations, as well as many people that were returning those donations, but not until they found out that this was being investigated. So yeah.
We welcome back to the show Florida Republican Senator Ashley Moody. Senator, thank you so much. So let's talk about this staggering welfare fraud they found in Minnesota. At least $9 billion stolen. That's out of $18 billion paid out through 14 high-risk Medicaid programs. This started in 2018, continued under Governor Tim Walz. What was Tim Walz doing, not watching the store? We're counting at least 42 separate categories of frauds in Minnesota. That's huge.
I am so glad you are highlighting this. I have been saying repeatedly, especially as we are uncovering and even being given reports showing that there is fraud rampant in healthcare and other programs that were just pushed out under Biden and COVID. Some of that they're highlighting here, from housing programs to food programs. So much federal money that was administered through these state programs is being uncovered as fraud. And a lot of that money was for travel overseas. It was purchased real estate in Africa. I mean, I can go on and on in terms of how American taxpayer dollars, I think that's important to highlight, our money, we the people of the United States, our money was used to facilitate all of this spending for those who had come to the United States and committed fraud on this government. And I think it's also important, and I love that you started out with that quote by Schumer. It appears to me that so many Democrats at the top echelons of government, federal and state, want to put their heads in the sand and keep doing business as usual, keep pushing money out the door, even though they know it's fraudulent and even though they know it's going into the hands of bad actors. It's insane.
You know, Oversight Chair James Comer is investigating this. U.S. Attorney Thompson said oversight under Tim Walz is so bad that there's now fraud tourism. 2 people out of Philadelphia purposely traveled to Minneapolis because it was easy to steal from state programs. But I'd like you to listen, please, to State Representative Kristen Robbins, the chair of the Minnesota House Fraud Prevention Committee. She is saying whistleblowers don't feel comfortable working with State Attorney General Keith Ellison's office. There's also, Tim Walz is accused of retaliating against whistleblowers, and there's been stonewalling. Listen to this.
The whistleblowers only felt comfortable coming forward when they knew someone outside the Attorney General's office and the department was willing to listen to them, because they have tried repeatedly to share their concerns with the department and with the Attorney General's office, and have either been ignored or ghosted, or they have been retaliated against, surveilled, and other problems.
All right, y'all, we had enough of that. Let's get on over to some more titles right now. Glad that we got a whole big chunk of that. You guys know what's going on now. Minnesota, Tim Walz, y'all got a whole lot to answer for, boy. 42 different programs, huh? Let's double tap that screen and get those likes up if y'all appreciate the content that you're getting right now. We're going to get up out of Utah right now. We're done with that. We're going to get up out of Minnesota. We got to get on over to Utah right now. Remember that first man who originally claimed that he's the one that pow Charlie Kirk? He made a court appearance. His name is George Zinn. Let's get into it, you guys. Let's go. Open up the screen real quick. He's going to have a quick appearance in court.
Yes, Your Honor. If we could call George Zinn numbers 79 through 81.
I guess he's got 2 charges, 79 through 81. Well, 3.
Good afternoon, Mr. Zinn. How are you?
Hello.
Couldn't understand that response, but you're okay, Mr. Zinn?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Madsen?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Zinn and I have spoken about his rights to a preliminary hearing in all 3 of his cases, and we've decided to waive the preliminary hearings and set all 3 for arraignment, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And you're still satisfied that Mr. Zinn is competent to proceed, correct?
He is waiving his rights for arraignment. I guess he's just trying to go straight to trial with it.
I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Zinn, do you understand what a preliminary hearing is?
I do.
Do you have any questions at all about your right to that hearing in these 3 cases?
I'd like to see it move forward.
Okay, by that, I'm not sure I understand. We can move forward with a preliminary hearing, or your attorney is indicating you'd like to waive your right to a preliminary hearing. Which one would you like to do?
I'd like to waive.
All right. Does the state consent to the waiver in these 3 cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I don't know if this guy here is the one that
accept
first
the waivers, bind all
said
3
that he
cases
did it.
over for trial. Do you want to do an arraignment today or set it over for that purpose, Ms. Madsen?
Oh, I had a misunderstanding. I thought that would waive the trial. I thought that would just go right into the pleas. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't worry. So if you'd like, George, I can call right now and talk to you in the jail. But we're right now just talking about waiving the preliminary hearing. We haven't told them yes or no on whether we're going to have a trial. So we're just talking about that one hearing we discussed as a probable cause hearing.
George don't want to go to trial, as you guys can hear. He's already, he waiving the trial already and trying to get a deal. Like, man, let me, how much y'all gonna give me for what I did? That's basically where George is at with it. Year, 2, okay, give it to me. I don't want to go to trial. He's trying to waive the arraignment as well as the trial. George like, y'all got me. I've been around the block too long. Just don't hit me too long so I can get outside and go fishing again. Double tap that screen and get those likes up. I appreciate you guys if y'all do that. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Purple Sunday. We got much more to get into. We got to get on over to this surveillance video. I don't know if you guys heard about this story about Dwight Wells. Pretty sad story because his mother, she's kind of distraught about this situation that happened in Miami. It's a new surveillance video that was released in the powwowing of the Miami, what are they calling him? He's an activist. Let's get into it, you guys. Like I said, do me a boy a favor. Let's double tap that screen to get those likes up. Want you guys to see what's going on with this situation in Miami. So go ahead and rewind.
Now at noon, newly released surveillance video giving another clue into the brutal murder of anti-violence advocate Dwight Wells. And now police are hoping it will help catch the killer. Good afternoon. I'm Naja Sherman. Thank you for joining us. CBS News Miami's Peter Dench is your reporter live in Miami with a possible break in the case. Peter.
Well, Naja, we can tell you indeed that Miami police are hoping that this brand new surveillance tape will lead to the break in this case. They say it shows the gunman who took the life of Dwight Wells briefly running away from the scene. His mother hopes this will help. Miami police say new surveillance video shows the gunman who took the life of 40-year-old community activist Dwight Wells on the night of Friday, October 10th, as he was playing dominoes with two people outside his Liberty City restaurant. His mother, Mary Brown, is on a mission to find the killer.
I asked God myself, why? What for? Who? I don't know. I just don't know, Peter. He never told me anything, but everything is going to be all right.
I would just like to ask the people, if you know something, say something. Screamer was a pillar to the community.
For the first time, we are hearing from lead detective Roberto Gonzalez.
The suspect was wearing a hooded sweater and a face covering. He appears to be thin to medium build. At this moment, we don't have a motive.
Surveillance video captured people running away from Wells's restaurant after the shooting and showed a troubling image of him falling to the ground. What would it mean to you to solve this case, Mary?
Oh my goodness, it would mean $1 million once again to solve this case. My son was lovable, and I will really know who shot my son. It'll be a great relief to me. People don't know how I hurt because I want to know who is the murderer. If I knew something, I would tell something. Come on forth, because it will pay off for you and the family.
Now, Detective Roberto Gonzalez says it's not known if the suspect had an accomplice or was in fact running to a nearby car. He said so far they've only received a few tips. If you can help, call Miami Police or Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers at 305-471-TIPS. There's
305-471-TIPS. Any money involved?
A reward of up to $5,000. We are
305-471-TIPS. 305-471-TIPS. The reward is up to $5,000 right now. The mother is hurting, you guys, and we definitely want to pray that she has strength, and we definitely would love for her to get closure in this tragic event, because no parent wants to see their kid and bury their child. None. Trust me, that's not the goal in life. Amen. Let's keep on moving forward right now. We got a warning coming from Japan, and it's actually coming over here too. It's an arrest that's been made with some new drug called zombie tobacco, something that raises alarms in Japan, and I'm sure you know when it goes over there, it finds its way over here. So this is some stuff that we really don't need to get our hands on.
U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order designating the synthetic opioid fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction on December 15th, 2025.
No bomb does what this is doing.
It is extremely rare for a drug to be classified as a weapon of mass destruction. Fentanyl is used medically as a painkiller, but illegally manufactured versions have spread across the United States. More than an estimated 48,000 people died from overdoses in 2025 alone, making it the leading cause of death among people aged 18 to 45.
It is a war. It is. Like, look at
In some U.S. cities, areas where fentanyl users gather in a dazed state are reportedly known as zombie towns. Zombie-like behavior is now being seen in Japan as well. This is Naha City, Okinawa, in Japan's far south.
Watch the news. It said the new stuff will make you stiffen up completely, collapse, and fold over rigidly. I'm talking about this. It's worse than the Fetty Wap.
The substance
Look at
involved is etomidate, an illegal drug different from fentanyl. It is unapproved pharmaceutical ingredient in Japan and is inhaled through electronic cigarettes. It is commonly referred to as zombie tobacco. Videos posted on Chinese social media appear to show people who have used zombie tobacco, including footage of individuals wandering unsteadily onto roadways. According to Okinawa Prefecture, the drug can cause numbness in the limbs and impaired consciousness. Overseas, several deaths suspected to be linked to the substance have been reported. In Japan, etomidate was added to the list of designated illegal drugs in May 2025, banning its possession and use. Initially, abuse cases were confirmed mainly in Okinawa. In one case, a 19-year-old man who was shouting loudly and behaving violently was arrested for possession of zombie tobacco. In July, 3 men were arrested for allegedly smuggling zombie tobacco from India through Narita Airport with the intent to sell it.
Okay, you guys, I'm just putting you on to something early. If you hear about something called zombie or you see some people with it ain't just the regular Fetty Wap no more. It's made it over here. Do your boy a favor and double tap that screen to get those likes up, because we definitely try to be on the cusp of what's coming up and let people know and be well informed about what's happening out here. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, what are you waiting for? Hit that notification bell down there to let everybody know that we're on. And also, give me all your money in your pockets. I'm just messing with you because I know it's hard out here for a pimp. So I don't try to hit you up too much for the dough, but I really would appreciate if we can get those numbers up, because that really helps people know that we're over here. Let's do that, you guys. Let's go ahead and get on over to Tennessee, where 4 kids are safe after one girl escapes a Mexican drug cartel, and guess what? The members get charged. This is some real stuff that really happened. You guys are not gonna like this one, because I don't either.
In Operation Crime and Justice, several arrests in a human smuggling and child labor trafficking investigation centered around this restaurant in Smithville. Investigators say 4 children were smuggled into the U.S., then forced to work there to pay off their debt. Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan's in Smithville, where experts say cases like this often hide in plain sight in small towns.
Yes, Scott, this case centers around this restaurant and market where investigators say children were forced to work after being smuggled into the country. Authorities say it took one child to come forward for this case to break open.
Investigators say 4 minor children, 3 boys and 1 girl, were smuggled across the border and brought to Smithville. Authorities say they were forced to work at Chavalita's restaurant and market to pay off smuggling fees and housing costs.
This happens all the time, every day, in every corner of the United States.
Former FBI agent Rob Chadwick, who has investigated human trafficking and cartel networks, says cases like this are not unusual in small communities.
They tend to prey largely on these small communities for the very reason that these small communities are so, under-resourced from a, law enforcement standpoint.
The investigation began in September after one of the children ran away and went to the Smithville Police Department, reporting she was being forced to work and controlled. Officers later found 3 other children living alone without adult supervision at a home on West Broad Street. All 4 were taken into state custody and released to the Tennessee Department of Children's Services. Chadwick says this case also shows how cartels use debt and fear to control victims and drive profits.
These cartels are sophisticated business operations, and like anything, they're going to, utilize everything that they can to maximize their profits.
On Thursday, a joint operation involving local police, the DeKalb County Sheriff, the TBI, ICE, and Homeland Security led to arrests. 18-year-old Joshua Hernandez Morales is charged with trafficking for forced labor or services. 52-year-old Marcelino Diaz de Sena faces a weapons charge after investigators say multiple firearms were seized. Thursday, I tried to see whether the restaurant and market were still operating. When I went by the market and asked to speak with someone, I was told no one would comment. A sign on the restaurant door said it was closed today only due to maintenance.
Yeah. What kind of maintenance y'all doing in there? It needs to be shut down all the way for that child endangerment that they had going on over there. But I'm so happy, and I pray the good things as well we pray for. We don't just pray for bad, we pray for the good. The fact that those children were not harmed and they got out of there. Amen. Let's keep on moving forward now, because yes, we got to keep on pulling back layers of the onion, even if we don't want to. Let's get back over to Washington, because Bill Clinton's spokespeople are saying this Epstein file drop isn't about Bill Clinton, it's another cover-up. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. Yeah, we were tricked and duped and lied to, y'all. Let's go.
Former National Security Council Chief of Staff Alex Gray and Fix California Senior Advisor Katie Zachariah. Alex, let me begin with you. I want to share this. This is actually a spokesperson for Bill Clinton. I want to share their thoughts on the release of these files. Quoting now, the White House hasn't been hiding these files for months, only to dump them late on a Friday to protect Bill Clinton. This is about shielding themselves from what comes next or from what they'll try to hide forever, so they can release as many grainy 20-plus-year-old photos as they want. But this isn't about Bill Clinton. Strong reaction from his team. Not surprising. What do you think?
I didn't notice that kind of reaction when they put out pictures of President Trump from the Epstein estate that were out of context, that were clearly with the president with adult women doing totally innocuous things. And you didn't hear this sort of reaction at all, did you, Kevin?
No, you didn't.
So I think this is exactly what I would expect from Bill Clinton and his team, who I think we've known for a long time. Will probably have a lot of questions to answer as more documents come out. Doesn't surprise me that they would react this way at all.
Yeah, I think Alex hits it on the head there, Katie, because he's right. There will be more documents that will come out. And truth be told, you can't assume guilt simply because your name is in a file or because you're standing next to someone, but it doesn't necessarily look that great either. What do you think?
I just don't think the affiliation with somebody that was like Epstein at all was any good. I got to say it from what I know now, reading that book from Virginia Dufresne, from right off the muscle, you know what he's about. You don't even have to wait 5 minutes of dealing with Epstein. You're gonna know what he's about, or somebody close to him is gonna tell you, "Oh, Epstein, this is what he do." Especially if you were around that time when people were, doing what they were doing. Do me a favor, y'all, because we got much more to get into. Double tap that screen to get those likes up. We're gonna keep on going into this because Washington is saying that this is a complete violation of the law. Representatives of the subcommittee says that the DOJ's partial release of these Epstein files and what they can do to ensure the release of the rest of the information. I personally don't think that they can do anything at this point, because what we found out is there's no ramifications or repercussions. There was no laws or there was nothing added to the law. Like, if you don't do it, this is going to happen. If you don't do it, this is going to happen. Like, what was added to this law? That's what we're going to get into as well. Let's keep on going.
Joining us now, Congressman Suhas Subramaniam of Virginia, member of the House Oversight Committee. Thank you for being up early with us and joining us again to talk about this drip that we're seeing, which is still a drip, basically, despite the bill that you guys all passed. But I'm wondering, what are Democrats going to do now? What are the exact options that Ro Khanna is teasing there to actually ensure that all of these are released? Because as some of our guests last week pointed out, the bill that you all passed does not actually have any teeth to hold anyone accountable or press real criminal charges if the administration ultimately breaks the law.
Yeah,
which they have.
Yeah, exactly. Right. They broke the law. Yes, they broke the law when they didn't release all of the files by now. This deadline was not a deadline to release a first batch of files. It was to release all of the files. They've had many months to do this, so it's not an excuse. They're trying to use the excuse of needing to redact many files, but we subpoenaed them for the same files 4 months ago, and they've been saying they've had them ready to go since March. So it's not an excuse to not be ready by now. And then they redacted heavily, far more than they needed to. One report shows that they redacted names for political reasons. That is completely against the law as well. And then they're supposed to explain their redactions and explain some context for the redactions too. There's no explanation of that either. This is only a fraction of the documents. About half of them, in my estimation, are already public. The other half are heavily redacted. And so now you're getting into a place where they're a complete violation of the law. This is something that the administration has done before. What's happened in other contexts is that we've taken them to court. And so I think that could be one move here, but we're exploring all our options because we want to make sure if we take legal action, it's the right legal action.
One of the things same thing over and over again. Oh, they're not releasing the files. Let's take them back to court again. Hey, they're not doing this. Let's take them back to court again. Hey, and another thing, y'all notice another thing? Even if they don't even have to worry about not giving out the files. All they got to do is redact the page and put a big black blob over everything and still give us the page and say, hey, we gave it to you, but we had to redact it. Come on now. We get it now. We get it. We get what y'all are up to. We got a little more information on this because now the Congress is talking about the possibility of impeachment. How many of you guys think somebody's going to get impeached behind this? Thumbs up if you think somebody's going to get impeached. Thumbs down if you think somebody's not going to get impeached. I'm going to keep my thumb down. I don't think nobody getting impeached over this crap. I'm just going to be honest with you. Come on, let's keep on getting into it because we have to and it's news. And you guys can't get mad at me and say, oh, let's stop doing this Epstein stuff. We're covering everything. Also, economics we did earlier. We covered a lot. So it's Epstein time. Let's get into it because it's news. Let's keep on going. Because now we got to get into this Congress just talking about, like I said, impeachment. Yeah, let's see.
No, they have not. And I'm saddened today because I was talking to the survivors. There was so much anticipation for today. They thought finally they are being seen, they're being heard, we're going to have a release. This morning, when the Deputy Attorney General went on television and said he's going to release hundreds of thousands of documents, not the whole thing, Thomas Massey and I texted each other, and we said, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We're not as concerned about having the full release. As long as they're complying with the spirit of the law, at least they're going to release something. But then...
I like what you say, Shane. The two-party system has failed us. I like what you're saying.
We saw the documents filled with blanket redactions. Documents that judges had ordered to be released, they had blanked out. There's no draft indictment there that actually has the names of other men who may be implicated in the abuse. There's not the prosecution's original memo that we wanted to see released. There are none of the files on Epstein's computer. And we do not know then who these other rich and powerful men were who abused these survivors. And we know from the survivors and the survivors' lawyers that that information is in the files. So this is deeply disappointing. They have not complied with the law, and we're going to continue to fight to make sure they do.
They gave us a bunch of PDFs. How many people actually went into the link in the description and actually looked at those PDFs to see? Y'all probably fed up with this crap already. Like, whatever. I'm talking about big blobs like this, blah, 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 blah. But even though there were some key information in there, like the information that, like I told you guys yesterday, where the 12-year-old and the 16-year-old had already reported this in 1996, but they did nothing about it. Let's see what Charlene has to say about this situation right here. Is this Charlene? No, this is survivor Jenna Lisa, who speaks out directly following the release of these Epstein files. Reason I'm doing this is because think about this. Let's say their part of their story comes up in the Epstein files. Their PDF is there. They're the ones that know what's there and what's not, what's true and what's false. That's why they're very important when it comes down to all of these surviving victims. Let's keep on moving forward.
You know, all day we've been waiting for the release of these files and wondering if we're going to get something or we're not going to get something. And then finally we do get them, and we've been on edge all day, I'm sure most of us. And to see that a lot of the files have been heavily redacted in a sense that gives no clarity in any description way, and some of these photos being completely blacked out with no rhyme or reason or any, I would say, telling signs of why they were redacted, right? Giving us an idea of a little bit of the picture of why they might be redacted.
And if they covered up, you know, some people's faces, why they didn't cover up Bill Clinton's face? Why they didn't cover up Trump's face? Why they didn't cover up, you know, how come they only selectively uncovering certain people's faces in this? What's going on with that?
So I feel like this was kind of another joke to string it along a little bit. I'm pretty disappointed at what has been released. I definitely agree with Rokana that they could have picked and choose a lot better things to have released today if they weren't going to be able to release them all today. I can understand the amount of documents that they have and files and all of that, but Rokana said it perfectly, that there are important things, and I'm very sure that the DOJ is very aware of what important things that we are asking for as survivors. So to give us that in hopes that you guys could continue to go and continue to release the files would probably give us a little bit more hope, but right now...
I don't think you're getting no more, boo. I'm sorry. I got to give one more person some time because we love to get content directly from survivors.
The Justice Department began releasing thousands of records related to Jeffrey Epstein after lawmakers passed a law requiring the government to do so.
And as Christian Benavides reports, not all records, though, were made public, and there's concern from some survivors about the amount of redactions.
Thousands of records related to Jeffrey Epstein were released ahead of a Friday deadline, but the Justice Department did not release all documents as required by law, and more than 550 pages were completely redacted.
At this point, what we need is a clear timeline of when the rest of the documents will be released and an explanation for why they did not release all of them today.
The Justice Department says it is still going through all the files and will release them in a rolling basis. Redactions were made for personal information pertaining to victims, other private individuals, and to protect sensitive materials from disclosure. Epstein survivors such as Charlene Rochard were disappointed.
It's not sufficient. Transparency means timely, complete disclosure, not partial release or delay like we've had.
Another survivor, Annie Farmer, has been fighting years for the release of the records.
And a lot of effort and money and time put into redactions, not to protect victims, but to protect people in power.
Among the new documents, a photo appearing to show Prince Andrew laying across the laps of several women with Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell in the...
But that's what I'm trying to say right there. Like, how come they only got a certain amount of faces uncovered? Like, who they want to be seen and who they trying to blow the spot up. Okay, and another thing, if these women don't say that they don't want their names, their faces shown, or they underage, they should be able to be seen too. And who's up there smiling next to Ghislaine? Why are you trying to cover her up?
Background. Multiple photos of former President Bill Clinton.
Homeboy got like 8-9 pictures with him and different women. And he was married during this time with Hillary. So Monica, I think, was the tip of the iceberg.
Who has denied any wrongdoing. Epstein's book of contacts
Allegedly.
containing President Trump's name, his late wife, and their daughter Ivanka. And a list of 250 young women listed as masseuses has their names hidden. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
And
Yeah. All right, y'all. That's enough of the Epstein stuff, and that's all they gave us. So we're going to keep on moving forward because guess what? We got a lot more news to get into, you guys. Double tap that screen. Let's get those likes up because now it's time to talk about the... We're coming in the party with the spliffers and Z. That's the real place a lot of people want to be. All right, you guys. Anybody in Massachusetts? It's anybody in Massachusetts because they just opened up the Cannabis Cafe and the lounges are set in Massachusetts. The laws are open and you guys, guess what? You want to put it in the air. You want to get a nice little sip with a little bit of hemp. Guess what? You can go and do it in Massachusetts now.
Cannabis Control Commission recently approved regulations for social cannabis use, and the community is now responding. 22 News reporter Arita Odaya joins us live in studio after speaking with a local dispensary and its customers.
Yeah, Nick, it's been years worth of debating and would mean big changes for the cannabis world and marijuana consumers. But there's also concerns on exposure to local youth. The Cannabis Control Commission unanimously approved new regulations for social cannabis use in Massachusetts, the first state in New England to do so, meaning you could consume marijuana in a cafe setting. Dispensaries, lounges, and even yoga studios are all included.
I would be one of the ones to go there. The reason why I do smoke weed, it's medical. It helps with my bones and my joints.
What joints? The bones after you eat the chicken and your joints that you be sparking? We're going to have to rewind that. Homegirl, you high right now. Excuse my French. Stop it. Stop playing with us. You lit before you even come to cop. Let's go.
Go there. The reason why I do smoke weed, it's medical. It helps with my bones and my joints.
And there's 3 types of licenses available.
Sure, you're right.
One for existing dispensaries to have an additional space for consumption, one for a standalone cannabis cafe, and one for temporary events like festivals and concerts. So we headed to a local dispensary, Zaza Green Cannabis in Springfield, to see what the staff and their customers think of the idea.
I feel awesome about it, and one of the reasons why is that I've been a part of that before in Amsterdam, and it was.
Why is everybody so calm that they interview?
It was wonderful. It worked well. The people loved it. So I think if it can work there, why can't it work in Springfield?
Alcohol and tobacco products wouldn't be allowed, but there's concerns about exposing more youth to marijuana.
I'm a little set back about though is that I go above and beyond to make sure my children are not exposed to certain things, even synthetic marijuana in gas stations and things like that, and how they're not held to a certain standard.
Now, once the regulations are formally approved, each city and town will decide whether to allow these sites locally.
All right, you guys, if you're in Massachusetts, you can fire it up. You got the espresso now. Y'all can do what y'all gotta do. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. We got some more gaggle coming in. Not gaggle, but actually some economic talk, a little bit of side talk that President Trump spoke about yesterday when he went into detail about when Mar-a-Lago was raided and Melania's unmentionables. I'm not gonna go too far into that. I'm gonna let him explain what he's talking about when he gets into this. Check this out.
They went into my wife's closet, and I'll say this, number one, it's very bad, but it sounds a little strange. They looked at her drawers. You have drawer, and then you have drawer. They looked at both. And she's a very meticulous person, like these people. It's just like she'd fit into your group very well. She'd be very happy with it. And I'll say this, number one, it's very bad, but it sounds a little strange. They looked at her drawers. You have drawer, and then you have drawer. They looked at both. And she's a very meticulous person, like these people. It's just like she'd fit into your group very well.
What's up, Mika?
She'd be very happy with her. But everything is perfect. Her undergarments, sometimes referred to as panties, are folded, perfect, wrapped. They're like so perfect. I said, that's beautiful. You're not support of the world she came from. Everything was perfect, no problem. Fold. I think that she steams them, make sure. It's just sitting. We came home. I wasn't there when the raid took place. The raid. of a popular president, a former president. She opened the drawers and it was not that way. They were a mess. It was all over the place. And she said, oh, what happened? That's so terrible, but it's terrible. I went into my young boy's room. These thugs are disgusting and we cannot let them get away with this stuff. We have all the evidence, man. We have all the evidence and we have to do something about it.
Now, he made a joke about it, but if you're really listening to what he's saying, he's like, you know, they went into an ex-president's home, went into his wife's drawer, not just the drawer, but saw her drawers. You know what he's trying to say right there, right? How could you make a joke about your own? I know she saw that it was like, Donald, what's wrong with you when he got home, right? Talking about me ironing my underwear. Do your boy a favor and double tap that screen and get those likes up to get more people over here. Let's get more people over here right now. What we got going on over here now? Let's go to Miami where they never fail when it comes down to giving us a story. We got this woman that went berserk and violent on a Miami road rage incident. We talked about this, and if you haven't been with us and you haven't been around to talk about this with us, we try to make sure that we try to pay, here at our bottom line, believe it or not, we think about what we do before we do it. That's right. Sometimes we don't like the news station, we don't like the person, but we think about what we do before we do it, especially when it comes to road rage. That's one thing I've been championing for a long time when it comes down to road rage. This one lady in Miami, she never saw our show before.
Road rage all caught on camera. New video shows a driver being attacked right in the middle of traffic. Local Times crime specialist Bridget Matter is joining us live in Miami tonight with a closer look. Bridget.
This all started as a minor traffic crash, and video will show a woman in a fit of rage wailing on another driver. It was all caught on camera.
They need to put whoop that trick in the back of this one. Whoop that trick, get him,
Police say this cell phone video shows a woman beating up another driver following a crash in Miami. It happened on October 18th. The two women got into a minor crash when police say this woman gets out of her car and starts throwing punches, pulling on the victim's shirt. A police report says she bit her too. It was at the intersection of Southwest 22nd Terrace and Southwest 32nd Avenue. An arrest form says the victim followed the woman who left the scene of the crash to get her license plate and reported to police. The report says the suspect at one point makes a U-turn and, quote, intentionally struck the victim's vehicle twice on the left side. This is a mugshot for 34-year-old Rocio Carrasco, who was arrested about a week after the incident.
And we found out this all happened while that suspect was out on bond for something else. She's now facing new charges, including aggravated assault and leaving the scene of a crash.
Meanwhile, she probably got a boyfriend and she said, oh, he's a bad guy. He's always doing stuff. Oh, yeah, Rosia? Oh, yeah.
We're live in Miami tonight. Bridget Matter, local.
Oh, yeah? We already saw your work, boo. How many charges do you have on you? She out there like this, straight up fisticuffs. You guys, let's learn from other people's mistakes. That's what I've learned throughout my entire life. I said, you know what? I saw what happened to such and such. I'm not going to do that. I saw what happened to this person. I ain't going to do that. And guess what? You know what I learned one time? You can't beat everybody. You mess around and jump out the car and do this, and then next thing you know, you got the Hulk looking down at you, and you're like, and it's too late. Snaps you in half. So don't try to always go to fisticuffs, you guys. Sometimes I think you need to let it go. Doom, 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 because you mess around and get your ass TKO'd. Keep on going, y'all. We got to go over to New York State where the New York State prisoner guard. I'm not laughing for you because you got what you deserve. This fool just got 25 years to life. He's a correctional officer, and he was not helping out when he saw what all of these other officers were doing to this one individual who was arrested. So now out of 5 officers, 4 of them have been convicted and 1 is left to go to court. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. This goes to show you that, you know, when you see things happening, you might be the only one to step up and say something, but you be lucky sometime to be the one to step up because you be the only one not going to jail for as much time as these guys are. Watch this.
New tonight, another former corrections officer sentenced in the death of Rochester native and inmate Robert Brooks. An Oneida County judge giving David Kingsley the maximum sentence of 25 years to life.
So you go from being a correctional officer getting paid to watch criminals to being a criminal being watched.
A jury finding Kingsley guilty of murder and manslaughter in October after he was shown on body camera video holding Brooks by the neck. As 13 Web's Natalie Calzatoni reports, Brooks' family was able to face the former guard at sentencing this morning. Natalie.
Good evening. The special prosecutor on the case says this is the first case in his memory where a New York State correctional officer has been convicted and sentenced for murdering an inmate. The son of Robert Brooks says this sentence is one more stop on the road towards justice.
All of this could have been avoided if you and your fellow officers just did your job. My dad would still be alive.
In his own words Friday, Robert Brooks Jr. faced David Kingsley, the former Marcy correctional officer convicted of murder and manslaughter in the beating death of his namesake, Robert Brooks.
Watching your actions on camera felt like I was stuck in a horror movie and you guys were the monsters.
For us, forgiveness will take a long road. Just like the path through grief and the trudge towards justice, today I hope justice is served.
Before an Oneida County judge handed Kingsley the maximum sentence of 25 years to life, the former CO's eyes remained on the floor as he offered condolences to Brooks's family.
All of the events that happened over the last 3 days in Mr. Brooks' life should never have happened. Every single incident was senseless.
25 years to life.
Nonetheless, I would like to offer my heartfelt apology.
Damn, he hit you hard, boy.
The prosecutor on the case says every former guard that physically beat Brooks has been given a sentence.
7 years, 15 years, 22 years, 22 years, and now life. And I hope this sends a message that reverberates
That's the one that was
rest of
hitting
New York
him.
State.
The remaining defendant, Michael Fisher, also appeared in court Friday. He is set to stand trial next month.
You going too, bro?
Based on the theory that Mr. Fisher was intimately aware of the fact that Mr. Brooks was being beaten, and he stood there and did absolutely nothing. Judge Bauer has already ruled that the law of the case is that that is manslaughter.
In September, prosecutors say David Walters pleaded guilty to manslaughter after admitting to standing.
Now look how big these guards are that was beating on this man. One had his foot on his chest just holding him down, y'all. Look, everybody celebrating. Everybody like good. Look, everybody's like good. He deserves it, don't he?
By and watching.
Wait a minute. Look at that man's face over there all swole up like that. Y'all saw that?
Admitting to standing by.
Look at this man's face in the green.
And watching as Brooks was beaten. Earlier this month, Walters was released from prison after posting bond, pending an appeal of his guilty plea. His attorney argues he was prosecuted by way of an employment directive, not a law.
We're concerned about the decision. We have suggested to the judge that he reconsider.
Fitzpatrick says a hearing relating to David Walters' release is scheduled for Monday. Meanwhile, the family of Robert Brooks filed a proposed amendments to its federal civil rights lawsuit that has new allegations, and we'll have more on that at 5:30.
Yeah, the way that happened was terrible, tragic situation right there, you guys. And I'm so glad that all of them are finally being brought to justice, because what I think about this is you never know how many other people wind up being victims of stuff like this and they don't find out about it. Do your boy a favor. I really appreciate it. Let's hit that like button to get more people over here. It actually does that. More people come over to watch the show because YouTube sends up a signal and then they see our show, and I really appreciate that, you guys. Thank you so much. Let's keep on moving forward. Now we got to get on over to Vegas in Clark County. This is a very serious situation right here. They're considering the F penalty, I can't say that word, because it is 12-car pileup that 3 people lost their lives in. One of these people was a female who was the passenger in her boyfriend's car. She was pregnant. It was because of him that all of this happened. She's no longer alive, as well as the child. Let's get into this situation right here, you guys.
This case is still in its early stages, but the decision to even consider the death penalty shows just how serious prosecutors believe these allegations are. Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson tells me this does not.
By the way, it's a pretty graphic story, graphic video you're about to see. Pre-warning right now.
Not mean a final decision has been made, but it does trigger a formal review process reserved for the most severe murder cases.
There's a woman dead. Please help.
Body camera video captures the chaotic aftermath of a violent crash. Twisted metal, shattered glass, and first responders rushing to help victims. The scene unfolding along West Cheyenne Avenue near North Jones Boulevard on the afternoon of November 18th.
That's the driver. He just got minor lacerations. His name's Jose.
The driver got minor lacerations, by the way. Him, minor lacerations.
Authorities say 19-year-old Jose Gutierrez slammed into a line of cars stopped at a red light, accelerating as he approached and reaching speeds of nearly 110 miles per hour before impact.
Sir, can you wake up?
3 people were killed. Gutierrez's pregnant girlfriend, Adeline Duran Rincon, and another driver, Edward Garcia, died at the scene.
On the other side, you guys gotta get the phone.
Off-duty number. She's still alive.
A third victim, Vanessa Lainez Vasquez, spent weeks in a medically induced coma before dying from her injuries earlier this month.
We are prepared to waive speedy trial rights today.
Gutierrez is now facing murder charges, and on Wednesday, his attorney told a judge prosecutors will be reviewing the case for the death penalty.
If a murder case has the potential to have an aggravating circumstance as part of the facts, then the case will go before our death penalty review committee.
District Attorney Steve Wolfson says that committee includes senior homicide prosecutors and even the defense.
We also invite the defendant's lawyer to come and present us with whatever information they would like. After this meeting, a decision is made.
In this case, the defense has suggested the crash may have been caused by Gutierrez suffering a seizure while driving, but prosecutors say they believe the actions were intentional.
Like 100 miles an hour.
Wolfson emphasized that while many murder cases go through this review, most do not result in a death penalty filing.
Many murder cases that have the potential for an aggravating circumstance go before the committee, but most of the time we decide not to file the notice of intent to seek the death penalty.
And because that review is scheduled for Tuesday, Gutierrez's arraignment has been pushed back to January 6th. His attorney says he plans to plead not guilty and also waive his right to a speedy trial.
Yeah, he better, because you know what's going to happen when he do that speedy trial. They're going to just crack him right there. He's going to try to build up a defense to try to get something, to try to save his life. And we want to pray for every single person that lost their lives in this tragic event, as well as the mother and the unborn child. If this had not been for a seizure and it's something else, but he was just driving his car erratically, that made no sense. Because you got the mother of your unborn child in that car. There's no reason for you to be driving like that at all, 19 years old or not. I want to pray for every single person that lost their life in this tragic event in this monstrous situation here. Amen, you guys. Terrible situation right there. Now we got to get on to a little further situation that's even stronger. We've talked about it a little earlier. Just told you guys zombie tobacco, right? What about carfentanil? Yeah, a new one, bigger than Fetty-Wap. Opioid that's 100 times stronger than Fetty-Wap. Stronger than Fetty-Wap. You know what I'm talking about? Carfentanil. Check this out.
A new illegal drug hitting the streets of Denver, one that drug addiction experts call terrifying.
It's called carfentanil. The drug is used as a tranquilizer on large animals like elephants.
Fox 31's Vicente Arenas joining us live now. Vicente, you've been talking with drug...
Now this is getting out of hand. Used by elephants.
Counselors and the DEA to learn more about this deadly drug.
Jeremy, I have. And one of the most remarkable things we learned about this drug is just how a small amount, a minuscule amount, can be so dangerous, way more dangerous than fentanyl.
What you see on the tip of this pencil is the amount of carfentanil that it would take to kill a person, says the DEA Rocky Mountain Field Division.
Carfentanil can put down an elephant, a rhino, large game. This is something that the average person, if they knew what this potentially could do to them, hopefully they'd run.
The DEA says a minuscule dose of carfentanil is 100 times stronger than fentanyl. For years, law enforcement agencies and officers with the Drug Enforcement Administration have posted photos of major fentanyl seizures. Carfentanil seizures now beginning to grow in Colorado as well.
Sometimes we have seen carfentanil, nothing like we've seen over the past few months, so.
The DEA Colorado Springs office and CSPD say they have seized more than 700,000 fentanyl pills this year, many of them containing carfentanil. The arrival of the drug in Colorado has people in the recovery community and places like the Stout Street Foundation extremely concerned.
It's tremendously terrifying that we're finding more and more potent synthetic opioids out there, and people have no idea.
Police in Colorado Springs sent out a public safety alert saying there have been 61 fatal overdose cases there, with either fentanyl or carfentanil identified as a contributing factor in 29 of them.
Our current harm reduction models are set up as with fentanyl as our worst case scenario.
The Stout Street Foundation says there are no current strips to test for carfentanil, and we are told Narcan may not work to reverse the drug's effects because carfentanil is so strong.
And another thing we learned about carfentanil today is that the only way to test to see if it's in a particular pill is through some kind of lab analysis. And now, as I mentioned, the big fear is that more of that drug will be making it onto the streets of cities in Metro Denver.
Oh boy, and if it gets to Denver, that means it's not going to be too far before it gets to other cities and other states. That car Fetty Wap right there, y'all. That's that Fetty Wap on stills steroids. Do your boy a favor. I know a lot of people have heard about that already. I've heard about it too. We've brushed up on it. A couple of months ago, we definitely heard about that. But now that it's affecting people in a certain state, that's when it gets really serious, you guys. Do your boy a favor. We really want to get these stories out. We've been getting trending topics. We've been talking about D-Rugs. We talked about the economy. Jeffrey Epstein. Come on now, we're doing our thing over here. We got to keep on moving forward now. Let's get over to Canton. Is that Canton, Ohio? Thursday, on December the 18th, police took 2 shoplifters into custody. One of them tried to pull out the bang bang inside of the back. You know how when they arrest somebody in Walmart, they catch them by the door and they bring them to that little booth? I'm not even going to give the story up. I'm going to let you guys see what happened in Ohio the other day. And it's a little bit graphic. You guys see this, so yeah, get ready. Distressing content, but we'll be all right. Let's go. So it starts off with shoplifters being charged with an attempted murder after pow-powing a GUN at a cop inside the Walmart.
Because that's what it is. Have a seat. Got anything on you I need to know about? Why's your hand in your pockets? It's my phone.
We got Shane Newman and Katrina Jeffrey, who were reluctant to comply with the Newman giving the officer a false name and social security number.
I'm gonna pat you down real quick, all right? That's cool. Nothing on you was gonna poke me, stab me.
Also, let me tell officers right now, you see that search he did? It was crappy. Don't never give nobody no wacky, crappy search like this if you're gonna give them a search.
Cordelia was just I just kicked them out. Cordelia. Okay, go ahead and see. Nothing on you that I need to know about?
I do have this,
What's in there?
They only pay for the front card. Yeah.
Go ahead and see for me. Anything?
When the cop asked if there was anything else he was carrying, Newman responded, no. Why didn't you keep on searching him? Why ask him questions? Find out for yourself. But okay.
Else in there I should know about, my man?
Still asking questions.
What's your name?
He asking her name.
What's your name? Xavier what?
Xavier what?
Because, my man, if you don't cooperate, I'm going to put you in handcuffs.
Because if you don't cooperate, I'm going to put you in handcuffs. Here we go.
Unless something crazy happens. 55-50.
Moment, he reaches for the bang bang. So now if you listen, you hear click, 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 misfire, misfire, misfire. That's what was going on. He took his out. He grabbed. When he dropped it, he picked it up. She ran off. 2-piece in a biscuit. That's a 2-piece right there. Threw him on the ground. Hit him with the 2-piece in the biscuit. All right, got on his back. But I gotta tell you, homeboy, you should have did a better search, like I said in the beginning. Gave him that Ronald McDonald pat down. What you expect? That was a real weak pat down that you gave him, man. That's why I'm trying to tell you, y'all gotta be on point with these people out here. They real good at hiding stuff. Some of them put it up there wazoo, and they know. I don't blame you for not searching up there. Do your boy a favor, double tap that screen. Let's get those likes up, cause boy, you heard that click, click when they turn the audio off, and it's centered on one point of audio. They only centered it around the pow pow where it was not going off. Crazy. To see the cop got lucky. Yeah, that's scary. Oh wow, yeah, I bet he pooped himself when he started hearing them clicks. Exactly, because they was waiting for that round to go off. I told you guys, we got a whole bunch of stuff to get into this morning. I told you it's not over. We got to get on over to a sad story right now for all my TikTokers. Anybody know a guy named Tucker General? I think that's his name. He's a TikTok star who lost his life by suicide. He's only 31 years old. And his brothers and his family is mourning his tragic loss right now. Is his name Tucker Journal? Or Geno? Check this out, you guys. Terrible, sad story that not many people are talking about right now.
People try this, trying to eat a burrito without spilling any crumbs out of it.
Tucker Janal, a social media star with millions of followers, has died. He was 31 years old.
Tucker Janal.
Clean. I think in between bites is the scariest part.
The LA County Medical Examiner confirms Tucker died by suicide at his home on December 11th. His brothers Carson and Connor released a joint post on Monday, paying tribute to Tucker in the caption, "You are my best friend and an even better big brother. My entire life I've spent looking up to you and trying to follow in your footsteps because you were always my hero."
It's raining out in LA. Rarely happens, but we have our pool overflowing right now. Fully up to the brim right here. Can't figure out the drainage. Connor's going with the bucket, bro.
Tucker, known for his lighthearted lifestyle videos with his siblings, was posting new content just 5 days before his death.
Carson's trying to siphon it out. You're joking, bro. It is over, dude. It is over.
Got these drains right here. They are a little bit clogged, so we're gonna be plunging them.
Carson and Connor also ask for privacy as they mourn and begin to navigate life without Tucker. We are deeply grateful for the kindness and understanding shown to our family.
I'm gonna take the hit.
Filling up with air right now in all my hopes and dreams. I love y'all.
I take the hit. I want to take the hit, whatever. I want you guys to see this right. I know they're going to get me for that song. I'll take it out later, whatever. I don't care. This serious situation right here. 988 Lifeline. 988 Lifeline. If you need to talk, the 988 Lifeline is here. At the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, we understand that life's challenges can sometimes be difficult. Whether you're facing mental health struggles, emotional distress, alcohol or drug use concerns, or just need someone to talk to, our caring counselors are here for you. You're not alone. Guess what? I am too. You guys can email me. You guys can send me DMs. You can send me any type of emails or whatever you want. I'm going to be there for you, straight up and down. Anybody having any problems, you want me to pray for you, whatever, y'all know we don't play around here. We take care of that on the spot. Now, I can't answer every single person, but I'm going to get to your email as soon as possible now. But please do yourself a favor and do me a favor. Please don't harm yourself before we have a chance to contact each other. I'm serious about that right there, because I'm going to be hurt. It's going to bother me. And I'm how can I say it? I am selfish in that manner, in that regard. I'm selfish in that regard. Why didn't we talk? Why didn't you tell me something? Why didn't you? There has to be a reason, because I ain't going to lie now. A lot of people feel that way. Believe it or not. There's been a time where I'm sure a lot of us felt like, you know what, I can't deal with this no more. But guess what? You keep on pushing and you keep on trying to get through it. So yes, me right here. Email your boy at bridgethisllc@gmail.com. You guys got any problems y'all want to go over? Like I said, I can't talk to everybody, but we know how we get down over here. As long as it's not, something too crazy, and we'll try to deal with it. Try to deal out with donations and stuff like that. That's what this platform is about. Another reason why we need to run those numbers up, because it's about helping people, not just ourselves. Let's get on over to Miami, where we got wait a minute. I want to pray for the loss of life in that tragic event. I want to pray for the brothers and the family in that event as well, that they get strength and resolve and try to make it through this tragic event. Hopefully there are pillars in their community and they can help other people, because a lot of times when people go through things, they're able to help other people. We're going to pray for that. Amen. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. We're going to go over to Miami. We got this unlicensed injection doctor that's been accused of harming clients. She's been released from Broward County. I don't know how, because first of all, I'm scared to get injected. Second of all, I would be scared to inject anybody with anything, especially with all of this crap that's going on out here. So she's been released from Miami police station, but I'm sure she's got to go back to court. And when you see the stuff that she's done to women, it's not worth putting yourselves through this, ladies. I swear to you, it's not. Because what you're trying to get in the bigness of your butt, now you got all sorts of sores and other deals and stuff that you got to deal with. It's not worth it. And if you're going to do it, have a professional do it.
Now at 11, ugly crime. A woman walking out of jail tonight after being accused of injecting patients with Botox and other fillers without a license. These are pictures from one of her alleged victims who told police she was in extreme pain and...
Now imagine you take your clothes off to try to give somebody something and your butt looking like that. Let's just call it is what it is. That's why you can't let these people deal with your stuff. And a dude would be like, yo, why you ain't just leave your butt alone? That's why we tell you stuff like that. Just leave it alone if that's going to happen.
And crying during the procedure. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Pastrana. CBS News Miami's Joan Murray is your reporter in Fort Lauderdale. She joins us live from the Broward County Jail, where the woman didn't have anything to say. But Joan, you talked to someone who says she was a client?
I wouldn't want to admit that.
Yeah, I talked to her tonight, and she, in fact, went to BSO to complain about what happened to her. Now, this woman who was accused of practicing medicine without a license got out of jail a short time ago. The victim tells me that she was told by this woman that she did have a license, but she found out the hard way it wasn't true.
Can I see it? And matter of fact, take it out that frame, because I want to touch the grains of it to make sure it's just not a photo stat like a lot of people do. And I want to hold it up to the light and make sure before you do any type of surgery on me, i.e. Kanye West's mother, i.e. other people's family members and stuff that went up under and didn't make it back.
It felt like I was being stabbed, like the pain was unbearable. I felt like I couldn't breathe. It wasn't a good experience at all.
Painful pictures tell the story of a cosmetic procedure gone horribly wrong.
She reached out to me through social media and asked if I was interested in her services and told me that she would give me a really good price, and I agreed on it.
The victim told me over the phone she went to this woman, Megan Whitcomb, for buttocks injections 3 times last year and ended up being hospitalized. BSO detectives say the procedures were done at Whitcomb's Oakland Park home.
Terry
Yes, she told me
Coon.
that she had her license, but she refused to give any medical ID or any proof that she was actually licensed. I was under the impression that I was getting hyaluronic acid, but they were saying that they saw other things such as tap water, baby oil, and a bunch of different foreign things injected into me.
We have Whitcomb,
They
page
put
5.
tap water,
Whitcomb faced a
baby
judge
oil.
Friday on charges of practicing medicine without a license.
She's a resident of Broward County. She lives with and supports her 1-year-old and 9-year-old child.
How?
The only
By
prior
doing
she's
that?
heard was a misdemeanor from over 10 years ago.
Leaving jail after posting bond, Whitcomb said she did not do anything wrong.
There's no victim.
The doctor,
I never-
baby oil, water.
Wrong.
The judge told Whitcomb to stay away from injections, and the victim had a message.
I hope that she learns her lesson and that she doesn't continue to do this unless she's actually licensed to do it, because it could really hurt somebody or kill somebody.
Yeah, I hope you don't go to people like that anymore either. Make sure that their licenses is good, because all it takes is one little bubble to bring you out of here. You understand that, right? One bubble, one air bubble in a vein, something like that. It's the wrong sort of not having you right up under the right type of what's that with that anesthesia, all types of stuff that you might need when you're dealing with that stuff, how to numb it up and all of that. She's just going local, just sticking you with stuff, tap water and baby oil. Who she was working for, Diddy? Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. Let's get on over to Atlanta, where these thieves pose as workers to rob some regular construction workers. I don't know why they're doing this at Pow Point. You serious? It's that hard out there that you gotta run up on construction workers?
A developing story now at 6. Police are searching for armed robbers stealing from work crews. Porch cameras show a man pulling a gun on workers after stealing valuables from the van. Channel 2's Tom Regan is in East Atlanta and says the thieves are disguising themselves as day laborers.
These thieves typically target crews doing in-home renovations. While they're away from their work trucks, they barge inside, stealing anything of value, and recently have been threatening violence against anyone trying to stop them.
Opened the truck up, he came out with a handgun.
Wow.
And I said, oh my God, what is going on?
Lawn worker Amos Bailey describing how a suspected thief threatened to shoot at a work crew that chased him after he ransacked a van parked behind a home under renovation.
There was a guy inside the van, which was parked on the back side of the house, trying to steal stuff.
Contractor Kevin Ramirez says the thieves were posing as if they were a work crew driving a pickup truck with a ladder.
Y'all got to be careful about that. Not going to be able to get too much out of that because it was very low, very poor audio. Don't know why the hell that happened. But hey, got to keep on moving forward right now because we got to get on over to Hialeah, where this man was accused of smashing these gambling games with the sledgehammer. That's in one of our titles today. Let me tell you guys something. Don't try to take your last money and go try to use it for gambling. You might as well take that $3,800 and go try to build something. Maybe you buy a car and try to flip it or something like that. Don't do no, oh, I'm going to take my last $3,800 and I'm going to Vegas or I'm going to Atlantic City and I'm going to put it all on the line and let it ride. Let me tell you something about gambling, especially when you go to a casino. It is designed for you to lose. Don't do it to yourself. Check out how this Hialeah man had to find out the hard way. Check this out.
A Hialeah man is in jail after he allegedly took a sledgehammer to a slot machine at a...
Oh, you'll give me my money back, son, bitch. No, you ain't. He probably went crazy. That last coin he put in there, when it said, doo, 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 bang. He was like, oh, yeah, Captain Caveman and son. Start tearing that machine up, boy.
a convenience store. CBS News Miami's Nakaya Carrero is your reporter live at the store in Hialeah with what police say drove him to do this. Nakaya?
Lauren, according to the arrest affidavit, this was all over $3,800 that 46-year-old Suniel Arzola lost earlier in the day. He attacked these gambling machines, and he not only attacked the gambling machines here at this convenience store right behind me on East 10th Avenue and 32nd Street, he also attacked an employee.
Audrey said her favorite movie was Let It Ride.
Police say it happened back on November 30th. Arzola walked in with a sledgehammer, jumped over the counter. In the report, it says he grabbed the clerk by her arm, pushed her all the way to the back of the store, and threw her in the restroom. While she was locked inside, Arzola allegedly smashed 4 gambling machines, stealing the money inside of them. He also took money from the clerk's purse. Now, in the affidavit, it says Arzola's right glove broke during the robbery, exposing a possible birthmark, and police were able to match it to earlier surveillance video when he was inside the store using one of those machines. Now, he is currently in jail charged with robbery, false imprisonment, and criminal mischief. Of course, we will keep you updated on air and online. Reporting live in Hialeah, Nikaya Guerrero, CBS News, Miami.
Tonight, a Hialeah man is in jail
I'm
after he
telling you.
allegedly took a
They never fail in Miami, you guys. Captain K. He went crazy up in there, y'all. Don't do it. Somebody said he could have took that $3,800 and paid your bills. Well, guess what? Let me ask you a question. What if his bills was like $8,000 or $70 or like $9,000 or $10,000? He's like, I need to run this bag up real quick so maybe I can pay my bills. Now, guess what? Wound up not having nothing. Nothing. You ain't really have nothing. Nothing. You gambled all your money. Nothing. Couldn't even go to the people and be like, hey, I got $3,800, man. I'm gonna give you the rest of it. Can you hold me down and take this $3,800 first? Nah, you rather go gamble it. Stupid move. Now you got donut, and then you're gonna try to go back and real knob the place. So now you got a crime, a felony. You got to pay for a lawyer, and you might go to jail. Now, was that stupid or was that stupid? Keep on moving forward, y'all, because we got to get on over to this. Where we going with this? Nah, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go over to this next one. Why are mothers across California raising up against this law? Very important story right here. I've been holding on to this, and they're going to finally get their showtime. Let's go.
This incident could have happened to anybody's kid. It could have been my kid. Everybody knew Lorenzo. He was a good football player for Corcoran High. He was a really good student. I did end up reaching out to Julia.
She's the one who said because of Prop 57, you're pretty much not going to get justice.
Prop 57 was approved by California voters in 2016. It gave judges the power to decide if a minor should be tried as an adult instead of prosecutors.
These minors that are committing premeditated murders, they need to do time like adults do. We want Prop 57 to be reformed. I used change.org and I created this petition for Lorenzo, and that's where it all started.
Valley families who have lost loved ones to violence committed by juveniles are pushing for change with today's protest against Proposition 57.
Eva started something that a lot of mom wish that they knew that they could do.
It was shocking to see all the growth that this petition has gained. I was calling Julia every day, like, hey, did you see our numbers? You know, when I started seeing a lot of comments, I knew we were getting somewhere, and we were gonna stand in front of the courthouse and have these big old posters stating that there's a petition.
The most they're getting in 7 years, they're going to be out there living their life, while we are never going to be able to see our loved ones ever again.
We got so many signatures. I want to say it was about 10,000 signatures. We were going to be heard.
Now, we keep seeing stories like this all over the world where these juveniles, these YNs are running wild and they're doing all these crazy crimes, but they're not getting the amount of time that we believe that they're supposed to get. They're getting this juvenile charges where they go to jail until they get of adult age, and then they let them out. These are parents that are trying to rid that of happening, especially with these tragic crimes that they're committing now.
This petition has helped me. It has made me feel that I'm not the only one. It not only goes local, it goes all over the world.
This petition has brought brought so many families together because of change.org, and they want to fight for each other. It brought a lot of us together. Now we're at 20,000 signatures. We need a little bit more to be able to capture the lawmakers' attention, but we're not going to stop. We are going to get there.
My job as a mom, we do anything for our kids, and I'm going to keep on fighting for Lorenzo.
I would say my hope is Lorenzo, and Julia, her kids, my kids, your kids. I am going to speak up, and I'm not going to stop until there is change within our laws.
I think so too. I'm totally behind it, especially from what I just told you guys. There's so many kids out here committing adult crimes, and how they say it, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Yeah, keep on moving forward, you guys. We got a new story right here. Actually a good one, finally. But it's crazy how the kids have to show us how we need to be as adults. Sometimes you gotta watch animals, and you watch the vegetation, watch the water flow, watch regular life, and watch the children before they get tainted. We got a birthday boy over here in Indiana who saves his friend from drowning during a pool party. And notice something about this story right here so far before we even started? You notice anything about this picture right here? Okay, let's get into it, you guys. Let's go.
A school in Indiana honored 2 of its students for their bravery. It all started a couple weeks earlier at a pool party.
It was his birthday party, and I was excited, so I just jumped in the pool.
But Braxton says he didn't realize he was jumping into the deep end. When he couldn't get his footing, he started to go under. Then Clark, the birthday boy, came to the rescue.
I saw him drowning, he was not really swimming, so I held a hose to get him, and then I got him.
Clark's grandmother tells WANE she saw the whole thing.
At one point he went down. He was down, totally under. My heart was in my throat. He didn't say a word. And I think to me that was a huge eye-opening experience to know that you don't necessarily ask for help when you need help.
Their school recognized both boys, Braxton for fighting to stay afloat and Clark for jumping in to get him out of the pool. They may have started out as friends, but now they're bros for life.
He's like family to me. He's my best friend, and I just love to be with him.
For Inside Edition Digital.
Yeah, I think somebody need to learn from the kids. Somebody needs to learn from the kids. I know people like this right now, like abba dooba baba beaver. Exactly. Yeah, you get back over here. Yeah, get back over here. Yeah, learn from them. It's okay to learn. Every day we can learn something. And that's right. What we're going to do? We're going to pray because that was beautiful. And we want more of it, Lord, please. That's what we're going to pray for, more of that, especially with the children, because yes, that's the next people up, and that's the next ones who are going to take the lead. So if we get more children like that, I do believe, Lord, that we'll be okay. Amen. And I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty. Such a chocolate. That boy could sing. Let's keep on moving forward, y'all. Give him a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's light remind us how we used to be. Now, I ain't no professional singer. I try my best. But this guy here is. Let me ask you a question. If you see I've seen artists do this before, but I never thought about doing it. People ask, they ask, rappers and celebrities for money. I've seen it happen before. Somebody might come to do a walkthrough or an event, and somebody go to them on the side, like, next thing you know, they get a little bit of love. But sometimes, you get these people that are pretty tight and won't give up nothing. And I've seen it before, celebrities that's like, oh, I ain't got it, I'm out of here. ODB was like, yo, ODB, so what you do for the children? He was like, nothing. And that actually made an emoji. But check this story out right here. Let's see what happens when this celebrity is asked and what happens with this situation. Because a lot of times, celebrities might be scared. They might just be stuck up and don't want to give nobody nothing. Sometimes we get different people like that. Let's check out this story together and see what's going on with this.
Bieber walks away from beggar. Seconds later, he sprints back. Justin Bieber, one of the most famous pop stars in the world, made a simple stop for yogurt for his wife. Justin was heading back after their order, but seated in an expensive supercar. Keeping a low profile didn't last long. A few kids recognized him and gathered nearby. Justin stepped out, smiled, and took photos with them, quick and polite, exactly what fans hoped for. When it was over, he turned back toward the car. That's when a homeless man approached and quietly asked for money. Justin didn't stop. He kept walking, got into the car, and closed the door. The man turned away. People nearby watched it happen. To anyone looking on, it seemed clear. Justin Bieber had ignored him. Seconds passed. Then Justin opened the door again. He stepped out, running not toward the fans, but straight toward the man who had already walked away. Justin reached into his pocket and placed something folded into the man's hand. It was quick, almost easy to miss. Someone nearby asked, "How much did he give you?" The man looked down, then back up, stunned. $500, he shouted with disbelief. Justin jogged back to the car without saying a word. No speech, no performance. The man stood there smiling, still processing what had just happened. For the people who assumed Justin had walked off without caring, the moment landed differently. Sometimes generosity doesn't announce itself right away. Sometimes it waits, just long enough to surprise you. Justin,
I think we need to look out for Justin. I know Justin's been through a lot. I gotta be honest with you guys, but you gotta realize something. That boy was raised up into this as a child. Also had to deal with, you know who, Diddy. So Lord knows what he's been through. For him to still have love in his heart, for him to be seeking Jesus and the Lord and the upper power, you guys know what it's about. So when it comes down to somebody like that, I love stories like that. And it helped out somebody directly. When people thought he was going to turn his back, next thing you know, he ran over and gave him something. More than what he even actually expected. $500. He said, "I got 5 on it." And if you guys are happy, y'all trying to make some money, go ahead and hit that link in the description and y'all can make some money, 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 money. Hit that link in the description today to make up to $200 off of surveys. You guys will make some money and I'll make some money too. Also, got anybody in here trying to promote their business, trying to get their name out there? Guess what? Send us over your promo in a 1080 by 1080 size frame, and we're going to put it up in the post notification area. That's right, to help you guys get some promo. I don't know why you haven't subscribed yet. Become a member. Hit that like button because we do this every single day. Hit that notification bell down there so that you know when we're on. And guess what we got coming up? We have coming up the Show Your Talent Search. That's right, you guys. That's the talent search that we're doing in Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. And guess what? We're bringing it to the internet. That's right, to make sure that everybody that's a part of our show can be a part of the Show Your Talent Search. That's the talent search where you'll be able to make up to $250 in Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. And guess what? Your boy Bugatti NYC, I'm going to be the host, sponsored by Big Drip Hard Punch. This is the Show Your Talent Search, and it's for anybody in the 5 boroughs as well as whoever is available when we go live. That's right, we're going to make this situation live as well, so it doesn't matter what borough we're in. If you're here, you press the button, you go live, and you show us your talent. And if you win, boom, $250 to you. And that's right, after we get all 5 winners together, we round them all up and we do the finale, and that one last person or group is going to win $1,000. That's right, you guys. Your host, Bugatti NYC, and my DJ Don Dada, formerly of Black Ink Crew. That's my DJ. That's my DJ. You guys see us turning it up all the time for the Show Your Talent Search. Want to be a part of the show? Again, www.drinkbigdrip.com. Also, put your email address in the mailing location and we'll send you updates on everywhere we're going to be for the Show Your Talent Search. And that's that, right? It's Purple Sunday, you guys. Have a fantastic day. We got some prayers to put up for some of our hosts' family members, and the #1 chat on YouTube. Who we got up in the building? Rebecca Lanyan Bueno. We gonna show some love for Summy. We got Casey, Batty Lynn. I see Sky, thank you so much. Self-confidence. I see Liberty and Justice. Jeffrey Spilker, CJ the Cat. Who else we praying for that we have a fantastic day, for health and for success and for just good feelings all over, you guys. What else? Who we praying for right now? We already got Sun Guy. Pray for my fam. Pray for the entire family, whoever's going through tragedy right now. Anybody who's suffering, going through sickness or anything, you guys, I want to pray that we try to touch them and give them enlightenment and pray that they have a fantastic day and make them feel much better, Lord. Amen. With that being said, tomorrow, my favorite day, Monday. Why? Because they gotta pick up the phone. When it comes down to business, pick up the phone. Until the holiday, until Christmas comes around. Because you know what everybody's saying right now. The holidays, it's Christmas. So I let them float throughout this time right now until January the 2nd. But y'all know what I'm about to say. Tomorrow's Monday, my favorite day of the week. And y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that y'all came here to chill with me for Purple Sunday, I appreciate you. I want you guys to have a safe day. I want to see you guys here at 6 o'clock tomorrow. And with that being said, you could have went anywhere. The fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So, get 'em! Peace. See you guys tomorrow.